December 29th, 11:54 a.m. Sweetie, you have to believe me, I didn't go anywhere near the crime scene. So then, where were you when the murder took place? We talked about it yesterday, remember? I was in the ringmaster's room. And while you were there, it was the ringmaster who left the room, right? Now, while you were there, it was the ringmaster who left the room, right? Exactly. He told me to wait in the room because he would be right back. That's when the ringmaster headed to the scene of the crime, right? That's what it seems like. But the ringmaster must have been wearing Max's costume, right? Oh, sweetie, I just remembered. I went straight to the ringmaster's room still dressed in my stage clothes. But when I got there, I went ahead and took the costume off. Which means... It means that the ringmaster could have taken his costume and went out looking like Max. And fabulous! That's a fabulous possibility. Well done, Nick. However, sweetie, why would the ringmaster want to dress up like me? Isn't that a bit strange? If you think about it, all they found at the crime scene was my silk hat. What about my cloak? Where did that go? Well, Max, I never thought of that. You should be a detective or something. Well, I was never quite sure what to be when I grew up, magician or president. You have no idea how hard it was to make a decision. That's really cool. Fabulous. This mystery just keeps getting deeper. December 29th, 12:06 p.m. Now that everyone is back, let's get started. The court is now back in session. Ms. Von Karma, please proceed with the prosecution's case. Very well. I will now call my next witness. A pitiful clown with the unfortunate distinction of having seen the entire thing. Well, Mr. Lawrence Curls, please take the stand. Why did she just call him a pitiful clown? The witness will state his name and occupation for the court record. In West Clowndelphia, name and occupation. Will the witness please inform the court why he is speaking autobiographical gibberish? I'm sorry. I'm just not used to being in court. I have never been in courtroom in my life. I wasn't quite sure what joke is best suited to this sort of occasion. What in the world are you talking about? You're in a grand hall of justice, not some comedy club. Since it's easy to see your occupation, please state your name for the court. Oh yeah, maybe this joke is okay. Mom, do I have to wear pants? The sign only says no shirts, no shoes, no service. Okay, how about this? Have you met my proctologist, Dr. Seymour Butts? How was that one? But a couple of clowns who are up to no good. Your name. Lawrence Curls, professional funny man, also known as Mo the Clown. You witnessed the scene around 10:15 p.m. the day of the murder, correct? Yes, it is. Very well, Mr. Curls, will you please testify to what you saw that evening? A rabbi, a priest, and a without the humor, please. Okay. Aw, poor Mo can't get his normal stoogey self in court. I know. I'm not the greatest comedian in the world. I haven't been able to make people laugh for 10 years. No matter what I say, all I get in return is a vacant stare and a polite applause. Since no one ever laughs at my jokes, I've taken to laughing at them myself. It's a bad habit, but hey, at least I'm trying. Imagine my predicament. I'm a clown who can't make people laugh. I'm almost useless. But I keep trying. I even tried to come up with my jokes just for today. But this atmosphere is very nerve-wracking. I decided to try making everyone laugh. This is not what we're talking about. Seriously, everyone, what do you think of me? How am I doing? Aren't we the ones supposed to be asking the questions here? Witness! Huh? We will listen to your call for help after the court proceedings are over. Thus, please stick to the facts in this case. Really? You'll really hear me out? Well, I'll make sure that one of my staff will be your straight man later. Thank you, I can't wait. Poor Gumshoe. Now that this is settled, shall we begin once again with the testimony? Of course we can. I'll talk for as long as you want. Alright. What you witnessed? The night of the murder, after practice was over, I went straight back to my room. You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. I thought I'd go straight to sleep, but before I did, I glanced out the window. That's when I saw two silhouettes. They were a bit far away, though. It was the ringmaster, and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. I kept watching them and all of a sudden Max clonked the ringmaster over the head. That's not what you told us in that thing. It's very interesting. And if this eyewitness account is to be believed, I have enough to pass judgment right now. Of course you can. There is no way this account can be criticized. However, the witness is a bit, how do you say, off-kilter. Almost like he has some sort of atmosphere of guilt surrounding him. That must be because of my insincere smile. Mr. Wright, please begin the defense's cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, you've got to find some kind of contradiction in his testimony. I know that. Mr. Wright. Your Honor, I'm afraid that if you push this witness too far, it would bring disaster upon the court. Thus, I sincerely hope you are not going to engage in pointless saber rattling. I understand, Your Honor. If you cause this clown to stray from the facts, I'll hold you responsible. Why am I responsible? I'm not the one with the corny jokes. What you witnessed. The night of the murder, after practice was over, I went straight back to my room. You say you practiced up to around 10 p.m., correct? See, that's the thing, huh? How exactly am I supposed to make a joke about 10 p.m.? Now, 8 o'clock, that's something a clown can riff off of. So let's pretend it was 8 o'clock. Let's not make 8 p.m., alright, Mo? What do you mean, let's not? Don't take the clown out of the clowning around. Come on, Nick, just listen to this joke. There are 3 reasons why I don't want to. 1, I probably won't laugh. 2, I'll get hit with a penalty. 3, I get whipped. Will the witness just proceed with his factual testimony? You are so boring. You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. You were pooped that night. Yes, I was very tired, not to mention I had some bad Mexican food. What? The double cheese, double bean enchilada is a dangerous menu item. What happened to that say happens. That one was cool, huh? I hear kids really love toilet humor these days. That joke was so hip, I don't want to ruin it with my reply. I've got a good reply, though. The joke was so funny, it just earned you a penalty. Dude. You just happened to glance out the window? You could say that. You could also say I peeked, stared, glimpsed, peeped, eyeballed. Mr. Curls! Oh, I guess synonyms aren't allowed either. What should I do? I wonder if I should press. Keep pressing. Exactly why did you look out your window that night? Why? Why? Clowns don't need a reason to look out their windows, do they? That's not what I meant. I meant that, well, when you spoke yesterday. Once I had tucked myself into bed, I heard this amazing noise. It was incredibly loud. It sounded like a giant thump. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You forgot? Your Honor, the witness looked out his window upon hearing a loud sound. He did not just simply glance out his window that night. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that thump, didn't I? Ow, owie. That's not something you just forget to mention. Yeah, what she said. I believe it would be best if Mo were to revise his testimony. Very well. Mr. Curls, please revise your testimony. This should start turning the tables in our favor. I heard a huge noise outside the window, and that's what made me look outside. What was the sound like? Well, I guess it kind of sounded like, I guess you could say, Mr. Curls, may the court remind you that humor is unnecessary. How do you know that I was going to make a joke? I guess that the sound sounded like I suppose it sounded like someone getting hit with something very hard. Yep, that's what it sounded like, honestly. Someone getting hit, huh? What then? What then? You went to look at the window and you saw... That's when I saw 2 silhouettes. They were a bit far away, though. Far away, you say? If you had to say exactly how far away they were? Let me think about that for a second. If my room is here, and they were about yay big, I'd say they were about 30 feet from my window. Just 30 feet? That's not far at all. It was snowing that night, and I cut down on visibility. I see. Please continue with your testimony regarding the 2 shadows that you saw. It was Ringmaster and wearing his cloak. You'd say you clearly saw this, even though you were, by your own admission, far away? That's right. I had been thinking about it over and over since that night, but things didn't really make sense until I spoke with prosecutor Miss Von Karma. But now I'm 100% certain that I was Max and the Ringmaster that night that I saw. Just think about it. How could I be wrong if Max is always wearing his uppity symbols? Uppity symbols. Lawyers nowadays don't even have to be to school anymore to be one. Alright, everybody, you know what to... Oh, God. See what I mean? It's always like this. The crowd never wants to go along with me. I must really be utterly and completely worthless as a clown. Yowza. Enough foolishness, get back on track. Will the witness please testify what he saw? I kept watching then, and all of a sudden... Well, you said you already heard it. You say you saw the ringmaster get clonked over the head? Yes, I did. It's the climax of my story. He really does enjoy the completely random non-sequitur. What would you say the victim was struck with? You mean the weapon? I have no idea. The weapon wasn't found at the murder scene, right? That's not what I meant. You did say you did see everything, didn't you? Well, yeah, I suppose I did. Wait, no, I didn't. I didn't see a weapon. Mo, did you or did you not see the crime of the murder committed that night? Objection! I will not permit you to harass my witness in this manner. You'd better have an excellent reason for attacking this poor clown. Because if you don't, you know what is waiting for you, a nice penalty. So what will it be then, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What do I have? I don't think we have anything for that one. Oh, come on. Now wait a second, Miss Von Karma. This time, I do not feel the need to treat Mr. Wright so harshly. That's right, what he said, bailed out by the judge. What an honor indeed. We must penalize Mr. Wright for his play. I think a verbal censure would be best. Huh? You know the rules, Mr. Wright. There's no room for baseless hounding in the courtroom. I guess he did really bail me out. You know, most testimony of what he told us yesterday are kind of different. Yeah, I noticed. We've just got to pinpoint what changed. You can do it, Nick. I've got a great reason to make my claim. And I suppose you'll be telling us all that great reason? Of course I will. The reason is the witness' very own testimony. What is the meaning of that, Mr. Wright? Mo said that he heard a sound like a thump of someone getting hit. He did say that. However, Mo just stated the following under oath. I kept watching them, and all of a sudden Max clonked the ringmaster over the head. If Mo is to be believed when he says he looked out the window upon hearing a sound, there is no way that he could have seen Max clonk anyone. In 1970... Oh. Mr. Curls, how do you respond to Mr. Wright's assessment? They didn't commit. These clowns promptly escaped from maximum security clown car. Mr. Curls, are you reciting the C-Team theme to anger this court? No. I'm just stalling for time while I jog my memory. Great job, Nick. These types of witnesses always seem to have a selective memory. You just have to peel back the layers of clown makeup to find the truth. Well, you're back from your jog? Well, it pretty much happened the way I said. Pretty much. When I looked out my window that night, the ringmaster was already face down in the snow. Prosecution helped me fill in the gaps of my statement. Von Karma. Tampering with witnesses again. So now you are saying that you did not see the defendant clonk the ringmaster? Yes. When I looked out my window, the ringmaster had already checked out. Checked out? Yep. He was on permanent... Oh, shut up. Mr. Curls, Your Honor. You did not witness the actual crime, however, you still say you saw the criminal, correct? Yes, exactly. The ringmaster was slumped over and I saw someone's silhouette next to him. Very well, but please testify to the silhouette you saw. Expect the truth, and if I even catch a hint of a joke from you, I will put you in a holding cell until you've learned court etiquette. Got it? Got it. A silhouette. It was a bit far away, but that shadow could only have belonged to Max. There's no doubting it, especially since I saw his uppity symbols. His silk hat, that black cloak, they were all there. His face was silhouetted, but there was no doubt that it was him. The cloak was fluttering in the wind, so I couldn't really see what he was carrying. So you didn't see his face. It does seem as if Dwight was at the scene of the crime. It took the clown long enough to get his facts straight. But whatever, this should finally be good enough, yes? It is decisive testimony. Was Max really at the crime scene that night? He said he wasn't there. We have to believe that. All right, Mr. Wright, cross your examination. Cross your examination, yeah. Don't you think that you're going a little overboard with how explicit you're being? That shadow belonging to Max is an awfully firm statement, don't you think? What are you getting at? I'm just saying that one of your fellow performers' lives is on the line here. Are you truly 100% absolutely certain that it was Max? I'm not the kind of person who would lie about something as serious as this. The silhouette I saw was Max, I'm convinced of that. It doesn't seem like he is jumping to any conclusions this time. Let's go over this again then. What makes you so sure that you saw Max that night? There's no doubting it, especially since I saw his uppity symbols. Here we go again. Carla said the same thing, but if it was just the symbols, then even I could have been wearing them. What if someone had just taken Max's symbols and worn them? I thought of that myself, but just looking at the shape of the face I saw, it must have been Max. You sure of that? Such a silly little boy. He threw his entire case headlong into a trap. The silk hat, that black cloak, they were all there. Are you sure that that is what you saw that night? Exactly what I saw is exactly what I saw. I've got eyes like a hawk. Don't birds have terrible night vision? But that's not all I saw. His face was silhouetted, but there was no doubt that it was him. You were able to see that kind of detail from your window? There was a light near the scene of the crime. Anyone with a decent eyesight should have been able to see that much. Out of curiosity, what is your eyesight like? I can see like a hawk out my left eye and an eagle out my right eye. Our records say his eyesight is a perfect 20/20. That must mean he could have seen the crime scene clearly. The more we look into the matter, the more suspicious it becomes. Hey, you asked me what my eyesight was like, not what it actually was. His cloak was fluttering. So, you didn't actually see what the criminal was holding. That's correct. I've been curious to know what caused that loud noise. Must have been something incredibly hard. Too bad they haven't found the murder weapon to know for sure. They claim it was a blunt object, at least it says so in the autopsy report. But Charlo's testimony and now Moe's. It really seems like Max is the killer. Nick, you've got to find a contradiction in this. That's not going to be enough. What? I have to prove that Moe saw someone other than Max that night. That's the only thing that will help. I've got to do it. It was a bit far away. Oh, I don't know. You say you saw all of Max's uppity symbols? I suppose so, the silk hat and the cloak, right? Well, everyone knows that Maximilian Galactica has 3 uppity symbols. 3 symbols? Yeah, everybody get ready, all together now! Silk hat, cloak, white roses. What the? Who cares if he knew that there were 3 or not? He saw what he saw and he saw the symbols, he just forgot to mention one. Isn't that right, Mo? Do you like pie? I love pie! Silence, fool, you are to respond with the whole truth, not fractions. Order, order. Mo, you didn't see the roses, did you? To be honest, there weren't any roses on the person I saw. The crime scene was dark. It's obvious it was too dark to see the kind of detail. But the witness said he was able to see the silhouette of the criminal's face. Not to mention that the roses are white, there's no way he could have missed them. And the roses must have fallen off when the defendant assaulted the victim. If that was the case, then the police would have found them near the crime scene. Mr. Wright, are these white roses truly material to facts of this case? Clearly not, he's just toying with this court. I got her on the ropes now. These seemingly insignificant facts have never failed to lead me to the truth yet. Someone is toying with the court, but it's not me. Your Honor, do you recall Trailer's testimony? There's no way I could mistake these 3 ridiculous symbols. That crazy get-up. 3-piece get-up. Trailer saw them all. Trailer saw all 3 of Max's symbols. However, this witness claims there were no white roses on the person he saw. There's absolutely no doubt that this is a contradiction. I'm trying. Now that I'm supposed to think. One is supposed to disregard the pointless, but this. Judge, forget the roses, think about this other testimony. The witness has stated without a doubt that he saw a Maximilian Galactica. Nothing else matters. Let's wrap this case up now. Your Honor, it may be trivial, but it does cast doubt on the prosecution's case. Frankly, I have my doubts about this witness. It seems that unlike wine, the witness has not grown more mature with age. I'm not mature? I've come to the conclusion. I'm 99% certain that this witness saw the defendant. However, my remaining 1% of doubt is quite reasonable, which means that for my peace of mind, I'm going to request a bit more testimony. What? If there are no contradictions in his next testament, I'm prepared to issue a ruling. A ruling? Nick, this is your last chance. There's no doubt in my mind. However, all the other symbols were there. I'm equally sure of that. This wouldn't happen to be the silk hat you saw that night, would it? Yep, that's it. That's the hat he was wearing that night. No question in your mind? Exactly how would one mistake a thing like that? I see. Is there some sort of problem, Mr. Wright? Miss Von Karma, where exactly was the silk hat found? Must you always ask these questions? It was found at the crime scene. The crime scene? That means... The silk hat fell off the crime scene. However, the witness clearly testified to the contrary. The witness stated that he was wearing it the entire time that he was on the scene. No, that's not true! Order, order, order. Mr. Curls. Yes, Your Honor. What is the meaning of all this? You are old enough to know better than to behave like this in court. Hey, that's not right. That's so harsh. What's not right here is your eyesight and your memory, amongst other things. Why are you being so mean to me? What did I do? Let me guess, you just didn't like my jokes or something, right? You didn't have to go and insult my eyesight or my memory. They're both great. Seriously, why? Just because you are sitting above me doesn't... No matter how old I get, I'm younger than you. I'm always going to be younger than you. Enough of these childish outbursts, Mr. Curls. Who do you think you are? I saw him. I swear I saw him. It was Max. Even if I didn't have his roses, he was still wearing his dumb silk hat. I'm telling the truth. He's turned into a bratty little kid. It's pitiful, isn't it? He left the scene wearing that dumb silk hat. He was there. He left the scene? What's the matter, Nick? There's something I've been mulling over for a while now. Mo? What do you want? You just said that he left the scene. Exactly how did the murderer leave the scene of the crime? What? He went... What do you mean, how did he leave the scene? You can't ask me that. Objection! Mr. Phoenix Wright is badgering the witness, Your Honor. Objection! This witness testimony is full of holes, Miss Von Karma. Miss Von Karma's protest is useless. Ugh. You've got a point. Let's hear what the witness has to say on this matter. Is that alright with you, little guy? Don't talk to me like I'm a little baby. Besides, what kind of stupid question is how did he leave the crime scene? The answer's obvious. He just turned around and walked away. That's what I expected you'd say. You sure that's how it happened? Say what? Huh? I'm not sure I know exactly what's going on with this. Lawyers nowadays sure do love to harp on the smallest things. Do you have any proof to counter his story as to how the criminal left the scene? I'm guessing I would show that. No, crime photo. Oh yeah, there's no footprints. Take that! Look at the picture. The problem is footprints in the snow. Footprints? In this photo, we can clearly see the footprints of the victim. However, where are the criminal footprints? They aren't there. So Mo, exactly how did the criminal escape the scene? Your Honor, This witness has already proven that his testimony is completely unreliable. I move to strike all of this witness's testimony from the court record. I agree. This clown's testimony is as rickety as the clown card he came to court in. Wait just a second. You guys can't just ignore everything I've said. Fine, I'll tell you the truth this time. You wait a second. I think you've said more than enough for today. That didn't hurt. I'm sick and tired of listening to you anyways. I'll give you the real deal this time, I swear. I don't know why, but I get the feeling things are gonna get worse before they get better. Mr. Lawrence Curls. Yes. The testimony you've provided up until now has been false? It hasn't been false. I haven't lied. It's just what? It's just I was a bit confused on the bit about the criminal leaving the scene. Especially since Von Karma and her whip told me not to talk about what I really saw. Order, I will have order. Francesca Von Karma, how could you? Your Honor, if you had heard the truth from this witness, you would have exactly the same opinion as I have. What opinion is that? It's not funny. That's enough out of you. I'm going to listen to what he has to say. Now then, let's hear what truth about what you say you saw, Mr. Curls. Huh, you're not going to believe this, but it's all true, I tell you. Try not to waste our time with your idiotic drivel. The truth. Now it's time for our next segment, Mo Knows. Everything that I've said up until now has been the truth. And I looked out the window, the ringmaster was down and Max was standing above him. He wasn't wearing his white roses, but he was wearing the silk hat. That's when I saw But there would have been still some footprints in the snow. This is the truth now. Get ready for it. He flew. He jumped up and flew through the air. He flew right off and disappeared into the darkness. That's why there were no footprints. Flying people don't leave footprints. I told you it wasn't funny. Do you believe me now? Well, that was, how do you put this into words? Maximum Galactica is a world-class magician. But to leave the scene of a crime by flying, there's no way that actually happened. You're right. Why is she right? You believe the other witnesses. Why won't you believe me, especially since it's the best part of the story? To be honest, this is the first time I've heard of the flying criminal. What do you think about this witness testimony, Mr. Wright? That's a good question. His eyes were playing chicks. Doesn't matter what I say, apparently. Okay. It's obvious that the witness's eyes are playing tricks on him. Don't be such a fool. Who in the world do you think I would mistake that jerk for? Geez, I didn't say you were lying. Wow, he looks really serious right now. More serious than he's looked all day. I suppose I will let you all in on my thinking regarding this matter. The criminal disappeared into the sky. I'd love to believe that. But I just can't wrap my head around that actually happening. You imbecile. If you disregard a need for proof, Miss Von Karma's case is sound. However, I've got the feeling that this case is in dire need of more investigation. Thus, I will conclude today's proceedings at this point. It's an undisputed fact that the criminal left no footprints at the scene. Tomorrow, I want us to find out the reason behind this mystery of mysteries. I believe that's enough for today. Court is adjourned. December 29th, 2:33 p.m. Hey, sweeties, what in the world is going on? That's what I want to know. They say the criminal flew off into the air and disappeared. What if it was the monkey and it jumped up? Max, I can't believe I'm asking, but you didn't fly that night, did you? I know you didn't mean to ask me such a fabulously stupid question. I can't fly whenever I please. It's not that easy. But it looks so effortlessly for you on stage. It's not that simple. I'm not actually flying on stage. I use invisible wires and have them hoist me through the air. Wow, you just told me a secret to your magic. No, I broke the first rule, the cardinal rule, the only rule. I'm sorry, Max. We made you break a magician's creed to never reveal the secret to their tricks. Nick, what do we do now? All we can do now is hope to find the flying criminal in the court tomorrow. Great idea. Let's do our best and catch this sucker. Now my throat hurts, so I'm gonna call it good. And then, yes, I'm gonna save my progress. Thank you. And then I'll try again. We're doing okay. I haven't had to check too much, this one had some big risks in it, and I do not want to go through all that text again because I do one thing wrong. With those big ass chunks of my health. Freaking Von Karma, bitch. Alright, I'm gonna go now. Okay. See ya.